Go to number 5. We're coming down to 30 minutes. We've got 30 minutes left, but I don't think we're going to finish this today, so we may have to take it up. But so much good stuff has been said that I'm happy to listen to all of the feedback and talk about that, and then say something about number 5. He says that we value sports and entertainment over education, and I'm hoping that his definition of education is the same as ours, non-traditional. In other words, we look at the boob tube and we go for anything that jumps out at it. Go ahead, Lion.
And what I would have to say to that would be, is pretty much what we've been saying, you know, all over and again, is the conditioning, the indoctrination, because like we know the foods that we had to choose from was like Brother Baruti said, was the lowest of the low. Even the white people was like, no way we're supposed to eat.
Throw that away.
But us in dire need,
okay,
you know, we look and say, hey, we either eat this or die. Okay. Now as generations go by, as the brother said, we do traditions and don't even understand why. Just as you might go to any church building you see out here that has a symbol, that the symbol was told to you it meant this, you know, and that same symbol was used to terrify a community, okay? So we have to really analyze, it's a cycle that's going on, whether it's the food, whether it's what we see as to be an entertainment. Okay, so we look at entertainment, and we know that a lot of the ones that are allowed to entertain us, their message, like the brother said, it's not their message, or they're used to by somebody else that's going to capitalize off them, that will allow them to use them as a propaganda tool. Okay, so, but you know what I understand. In Jackson, Tennessee, it was no different from coming to Memphis, Tennessee,
okay,
West Tennessee.
Okay.
How we view and hold high esteem to these athletes, and when we go and look at the framework, you know, they really, one point that he brought up in his 27 points, speaking of Dr. Boyce, not for us not to realize that we can have our own people to be white racists as the KKK. So if you have teacher, doctor, lawyer, and they look at our children with the same eyes as you know, they've been programmed to look at us through the white lens, saying that, you know, really, that black baby is hopeless. You know, I'll try to give them what I can, but I don't know how much it's really going to benefit them, seeing as I don't really have that much hope in them anyway. And that type of feedback, you know, children pick up on that. You know, children pick up on, you know, when a mom, like we were saying, I'll kill you if you don't do it. I'll slap you the next week if you don't do it. Or, baby, will you please, this is why you need to do it. I'm trying, you know, it's a way that you can express certain information, and kids pick up on that. Children pick up on it very well, and what we're saying now is that same nourishment that, you know, traditionally that we was handing down to our children, now it's through the tube. You know, the kids get their concept from the cartoons and the different scenarios that the cartoons play, and then when they see it in life, you can go watch a kid now, and they will play that role out right there. So you know they're learning it, and the source that they're learning from is not the parents. So
is it our responsibility as being part of the solution right here on this show, the Love Power Show, to provide or to lay out guidelines by which African Americans can begin to think critically, to critically examine an issue? Would this be part and parcel of the solution as we go forward to learn how to think and carry ourselves? Is that a fair assessment?
Yes, sir. And I believe anyone with the right intentions if your heart in the right place and you are able to see the facts through the ones that are being oppressed and the ones that are oppressing. We have to look through both eyes, but we have to genuinely have that intention to want to learn, and then being able to think outside the box. Because if you really want to learn something about any subject, I don't care what it is, if you really have that heart to learn about it, you'll be able to learn, understand, and then be able to add your own opinion on it.
Okay, we're 35 minutes into the show, and let's step it up. Let's move with quickness. Omar, he says number 6, believing that black people you see on white-owned TV networks are supposed to be leaders or role models to our community. Now, I want to add something to that. What I want to add to that, Talut, is this. We also look to these preachers to be leaders, our leaders.
Imams and not only preachers, but imams also.
Oh, okay, so you're putting that in the equation. Okay, all right, well, let's roll it.
Imams, yeah, we look for them to be
Okay, so we're still talking about critical thinking. We're still talking about being able to examine an issue and being able to dig through all of the trash and garbage and come up with the essence, the positive essence, and the solution to the problem. Is that right, Omar? Take it.
Repeat that question.
The question is, believing that black people you see on white-owned TV networks are supposed to be leaders or role models to our community.
You know, for the most part, they're not going to put black people on white TV on networks that are real leaders for the black community. They're only going to put those people on the screen that they control, and that will say things that are pleasing to white people. You won't have Minister Farrakhan, who is a dynamic leader of black people. The only time they have him on there is every now and then with a little sound bite. He should be on there every day with some extraordinary teaching that got our people out of this mess that they're in. They'll put a message Jesse, or they'll put a that's what he is.
Message Jesse. You go, man.
I didn't
Message.
know that.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Al Sharp, they'll put him on there.
Okay.
Because they're not going to lead us anywhere. They'll put basketball stars who don't really, you know what, the basketball star that's married to a white woman, talking about what happened in Ferguson, Missouri. How can you talk?
just insane.
Yeah,
It's totally crazy.
that kind of mess.
Okay.
They won't put anybody on there that represents the true interests and the true desires of black people.
Okay.
So as long as they can control that, they make it appear that this is what black people need and this is what they think. But it's just an illusion of inclusion,
Okay.
an illusion of progress.
Okay. Now, we're talking about true leadership. Is that right? So, we can't say, can we say that all preachers and imams are providing us with improper so-called leadership, Talut?
No, we can't.
But
say-
most of them.
Look, they are just as brainwashed and
Come on.
colonized and,
Yes, sir.
and programmed as the ordinary guy is out on the corner with a fifth or whatever in his hand.
Sometimes worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's no different. We all are in this boat together. And there's no differences. Even the basketball players and the superstars that they projecting to us as stars and all, I mean as leaders and all that, we're all in this boat together. Okay? And they're sinking the boat. They're on the bottom of the boat knocking holes in it as we go back.
Yes.
Okay? And we can't seem to get it together. You know, the thing is, leadership, you know, I think we mentioned this some months ago.
All the time.
Yeah. Leadership is an essential part of humanity and an essential part of any people. The bottom line is, when someone else is telling you, look, your leader is over here, your leader is over there, we can't seem to get it together and say, this cat is not, or these people are not for our best interest. We can't get that in
Not
our
representing the interests of
Right.
African Americans.
We can't get that in our mind. But there's one point I
Go
want to
ahead.
make about leadership. If someone is standing before the people claiming leadership, our responsibility to that person is show us the goods. You know, show us the good. What have you gone out and discovered? What have you gone out discovered and brought back to us.
Yeah. Bring your resume to the table.
Bring us the physical money and concepts and ideas that enrich us and value us, or the things that make or cause people to become productive in their society and in the world. Okay, that's the leader. Okay, that's the true leader. But someone is standing up telling you what God said is not a leader.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a preacher.
I understand. But I would want to look at your track record.
Yes.
And your resume would be a part of your track record. Now, if you bring the money right then and there, that's all well and good.
Yeah, but
Then
when
if
I say money, I'm merely
You did say good.
productivity.
Okay.
Productivity, a guide to enrich our community, to bring business to us, trade and commerce.
Right.
That's what I mean.
Okay,
money.
got you. Because you also,
dollars.
yeah, okay, all right. So you also said the goods.
The goods.
The goods.
Show us,
and
show us the
we've
goods.
already pointed out that we don't have the goods.
Right.
We only have the bill for the goods.
Right.
That's what we point out. And so, and some of these people are masters of tricknology.
Yes.
So if you bring money and it's not the right amount of money, then I would suggest that the organization would zero in on this character with super lens, because down the road may be lying another trick. Is that right, Omar?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know, before I go,
Go ahead.
Let me mention that today they're having Kwanzaa in July at Slave Haven. And when I leave here at the station, I'll be headed there. We're trying to get our people to celebrate the principles of Kwanzaa, not just in December, but every day of the year. Because if we did celebrate that, especially starting with the first principle of emoji, which is unity,
Yes.
then we could eliminate all this stuff we're talking about from Dr. Boyce Watkins.
Yes.
We wouldn't have that conversation anymore.
Right. Well, it's saying that we have a long way to go.
Yes.
It's saying that this is elementary.
Yes.
But as teachers and leaders, we have to start where we are. Is that right?
Absolutely.
I mean, if you're a coach of a basketball team and you didn't get the first round pick, you can possibly rise to leadership capacity by working with what you have. Is that right?
We're gonna work with what we got. We got to do something.
We've got to do something. Now, last week you and I talked about calling a meeting together to address some issues that include economics and etc. Is that right?
Exactly.
Okay, look, I want to go here now, Omar, to you. Number 7, he says, believing that every tax refund check and every paycheck is supposed to go straight to the mall to buy overpriced European brands from companies that don't even hire black people. Omar.
You know, that's part of the medication process.
That he was talking about.
We medicate ourselves against self-hatred. And we have to do that so that we don't feel bad about ourselves. You know, we'll pay true religion jeans $200, $300 for something that costs $10 to make and ship and market. But we'll pay $200 to $300 for it so we can feel good about ourselves. Back in my day, when we wore, name brand, the label was on the inside. Now they put it on the outside, so now you're walking advertising for the company don't care shit about. I'm sorry, don't care about shit.
Right.
That's right. But there's no apology.
So we have been reversed in our thinking, and we got to come out of that slave mentality thinking.
Right.
We got to start walking a whole different way.
He said reverse, walking backwards.
Yes. Walking backwards, thinking backwards, spending out. Look, we don't even spend money without saying.
Right.
Now, these buy from somebody black if you're going to buy some stupid
Right.
stuff. Buy the stupid stuff from somebody black.
Hey, look, Jeffrey. Number 8 says that thinking that being rich means having a high-paying job, a big house, or a fancy car, even if it's all financed with debt. And we haven't learned that yet, Jeffrey. We haven't learned that. We've seen people work all of their lives, and I was just looking at some the other day, and they're still struggling after they have so-called retired. Come on. I don't mean to just go on randomly. Go ahead. Talking.
Well, hey, here in America, where the system of capitalism is so strong, and one of the the main concepts and the main reality here in America, that's what you get. There's no way you can play it to where you don't have debt, because capitalism thrives off exploitation. One, so we're being exploited, which means we're not getting paid what we're worth because we're working to build somebody else's capital for them. So that sets up us not being able to pay for their high-priced goods and services because they're paying us by the hour, but we're paying retail prices for things that don't cost that much to make, as Brother Baruti was speaking about. And not only that, hey, it's time we've got to really dive into the mess that we've accepted as being true. You know, we're talking about being brainwashed, and in, you know, this particular question we have, you know, we have situations where the vast majority of the people are in debt, but really we're thinking backwards about everything. Whose land is this anyway? You know, we're talking about who's in debt. They want us to think that we're in debt, but no, they owe us. That's the reality of the situation. So I just wanted to lay that on the table.
Okay, so when you talk about capitalism, real quick, just as a side note, and who owes who, so are you bringing in the question of another economic system, and also are you talking about reparations?
Absolutely.
Real quick.
Well, one, we need both. We need reparations, and we need we need to develop a new idea for our economics based upon something that is fair for everybody.
Okay, let's suffice it to say that right there. That's another discussion, because it's possible what you're talking about, I think, because I'm thinking about some other information. But, Lonnie, calling yourself and your friends niggers or niggas and seeing nothing wrong with that. This is another type of language and attitude and behavior that has many varying ramifications. Lonnie?
Yes, and the word, you know, we all go to the origin of it, and we all know that the origin of the word is for, it's used in a derogatory way or any way to belittle someone, specifically us, right? So the controversial thing about it is, you know, we had a generation that took that word and used it so much to the point where they rationalize it with saying, hey, you know, we took control of the word. It doesn't, the more we say it, the less value of the word means. So, for instance, you know, if I could say, what's up, my nigga? What, you know, me and my niggas doing this and that, you know, and the way I use it, you know, to someone that, well, I want to say this because, you know, we have to look at the fact that we still have people that's living today that when that word was going around, it was only one group using that word. Okay. Now we use it so much that it's even acceptable to other people. You know, for instance,
especially other ethnic groups in California.
Yeah. Now they feel comfortable, like
that it's okay for them to use it and be okay and get away with it.
Right.
So let me ask you this. Is it a term of endearment for African Americans? My nigga. Tommy Real nigga. Remember the Tommy Hill figure?
Yeah.
And so, now we know African Americans are the most creative people on the planet.
Right.
So, African Americans came back, well, okay then, let's get some Tommy Real nigga.
Right.
So is it a term, two questions. Is it a term of endearment? And since we see these new developments, is it a term that should be eliminated as well?
That's a good question. You know,
we may have to do a whole show on that.
We may have to, because like I said,
but hit it with a side note, and I want to go to Omar.
real briefly, you know, like I said, we have generations here that, you know, they don't have the it gets so, it's, you know, they live that, you know. And we have a generation, the new generation, they don't see the significance in the word because it wasn't used. The only time they seen it used is by us on BET, you know what I'm saying? So that real feeling from someone that really hates you, to hear it from someone that really hates you, and to hear it from someone else that uses it towards themselves, you know, it's a different meaning, you know. So to me, to eliminate it would eliminate the history that went behind it, you know, as far as the in-depth, you know, just overall what comes even us now talking about the word, you know, but to get rid of the word, we could get rid of it, but it would be another word to replace that.
Yeah, let's come back to it. Let's come back to it because we can agree here at this table. I think we've agreed with this on this before. We can redefine definitions. Is that right? Because we're talking about words, meanings, and definition, and the power that they have or that they do not have. Is that what we're talking about? I want to go now to. We have 10 minutes. I think we can get through a couple more. Omar, then Baruch. Omar, giving your money, is this the epitome of self-hatred? Giving your money to white businesses and avoiding the black ones. And look, I want to add to that again. Here I go. Giving your money also to these Arabs around here and some of the other ethnic groups in these corner stores as well. So just expand that statement, Dr. Boyce Watkins. Omar.
You know, I was on an insurance appointment last night, and the lady was talking about her air conditioner and how it was malfunctioning. And she said, "I'm sick of calling black people. I want to give my business to the white man." And I kind of folded up my papers because I'm thinking, I ain't a white man, so you can give me your business for the insurance. But then after I got through writing the application, I said, you know what? That's the problem. That's one of the problems we got today. Is that we don't support.
You told her that?
Yeah, we don't support black businesses. I said, what if the white man sent a black guy here to fix your air conditioner? I said, you're still giving the black man your money, but you're doing it indirectly because he's going to get a few crumbs. The white man going to get the big part of the pie. I said, something we got to change our thinking because that black man has all the skills that you need to take care of your problem if you would find the right one. But you can find a white man that ain't going to do nothing right either. And you won't blame him because you won't blame his whole race for what he did. You Jews don't do that. Jews do not say that Jew didn't treat me right. I ain't gonna never use another Jew again. They'll go to another Jew and another until they find one that'll do what they need to have done.
Right.
We're the only ones that got that kind of mentality. There, I ain't never use a nigga again.
In other words, that in the back of her mind or that mindset is the reluctance from the beginning.
Yes.
Therein lies the substance of everything we've talked about on this show.
Exactly.
So as soon as, listen, there are some African Americans who perhaps may not do a good job, may not show up in a timely manner. But this whole defeatist attitude that African Americans have sometimes does not further the cause of African Americans. I think you've said.
Let's take it in a too extreme note.
Let's look at it.
That would be real short.
Let's look at it.
9 people were killed in South Carolina in a church. And these 9 people were killed by a white man that believed in the Ku Klux Klan, the Confederate flag. And these people, their families, had the gall to forgive the man who ain't asked for forgiveness and didn't look for none and don't want none.
Want to kill him.
He want to kill some more. He didn't kill enough. I mean, but if a black man do something like that, he deserved to die. And he is not he doesn't deserve any forgiveness. That's how we think. So we'll forgive white folks if they step on our toes 100 times. You ain't gonna never please them, but we'll keep forgiving them. But let the black man make one mistake.
So are you saying, they said, that's all right, he stepped on my toe, but I forgive him?
Yes. That whole mentality is from the slave master. We got it and we still toting it around. We just throw it in the trash can and bury it.
Ironically, people in the 90s, that was a big no-no when we were growing up, was to step on somebody's Jordans and somebody's Nikes. It was a big no-no, especially if you were black or brown, like us.
Well, accidents happen, but listen. Number 11, Talut. Now, I find this to be problematic. You guys help me out. You brothers help me out here. thinking that we're all supposed to vote for the Democratic Party in every election.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We should, because number one, and I know what he's implying,
Okay.
but I'm saying yes, because
You disagree with him?
as spoken,
As spoken,
as
okay,
written, right?
okay.
There, absolutely.
Okay.
See, historically, the Republican Party, okay, has attracted the racists, okay, the racists and the separatists. Okay, so, you know, if it was a party, if the other party or other parties were just open parties, well, that'd be fine. We should not just vote in one party or another. But under the political system of America, if we're able to achieve certain goals, and that's what politics is, you achieve certain goals under a political system, a political party. So if the Democratic Party is a party that's open for everybody and everybody have a voice, then yes, we continue to push that party agenda. If the Republican Party is reduced down to a racist organization, and now a terrorist organization as well, why in the world we want to be over there and claiming that we in a two-party system and we should be fluid, we should be all-inclusive in everything? No, we should not. We have to use our common sense and our heads in this day and time. Trust me, there are a number of Negroes who are claiming Republican in Memphis. They're coming up in the next election. They are Republicans, but they are projecting themselves as Democrats, and they happen to be black. So we got to be shrewd and smart. We can't just go for the open door.
We've got 3 minutes. Now, I think, unless we get more clarity, Omar, about this statement, then my concern is unity. That when I hear that statement, see, the title of his paper, the 27 ways that we are brainwashed, and I'm adding to that, are destroying ourselves. And we've called for unity on many occasions. And I agree with you in part that to choose the most effective means, whatever it is, and go with that in terms of unity. So Dr. Boyce Watkins is saying that we think we're supposed to vote for Democratic Party in every election. Now, doesn't matter to me as long as we vote as a group and in unity. And since the Dixiecrats became Republicans and switched parties, we've mostly voted Democratic. And when we look at the Republican Party today, we find that party to be problematic for African Americans. And just take that old thing of just say no to everything that black folks want. Just from that point right there, Omar. And we've got 2 minutes. We've got a long time. I can fly an airplane to Jackson in 2 minutes. Come on, Omar.
You know, when it comes to political parties, we need to examine the record of the person that's running. Because I'm like, Dr. Lou, we got some black politicians out here in camouflage. And they don't mean us no good. And we need to be ready to recall them within 90 days if they don't do what they set out to do, what they promised to do. We shouldn't have loyalty to people that don't represent us. We should be ready to recall them and put somebody else in their spot. I don't care about Democrat or Republican. Hell, they both racist.
Okay, that's gonna bring it to a close, a wrap. And we'll take that next week. We've got 60 seconds left. Thank you all for coming. Jeffrey, Talut, Lonnie, Omar. Thank you, Isaac, for being on the what is that? Is that I've been calling it the keyboard. What is it?
Board. Just say board.
For being on the board. Next week we will start with number 12, which will be believing that Africa is a poor, dirty, horrible place with nothing but poverty and disease, and that you should thank your lucky stars who were blessed enough to live in America. Lonnie, next week. Thank you.
Great brainwash.
Yeah.
Can you believe I had a geography class at MTSU where they argued with me and the sister, and actually I want y'all